Daddy.
We have the elf and the reindeer.
Rudolph's here. Woohoo. I'm just using this to disguise my cold nose.
Yeah, we both have a little bit of snifflies. Somebody gave them to me riding in the car the other day.
Oh, nice try. You gave them to me 2 weeks ago. Anyway, good morning. Greetings, everybody. You can see we're in a different location and we're together. It's not two screens.
Yes. Oh, yeah, she's there.
This is Anita.
Good morning.
I'm Cheryl, and we are all in alignment.
Fun Shui with Anita and Cheryl.
You betcha.
Creating
and our
sacred
new
spaces.
banner.
I love it.
Thumbs up for that. Great.
Yeah, well, might as well do a shout out to
Absolutely.
Print Wizards in Sylvan Lake for looking after
For their
that
creation.
for us.
So we are on location this morning at Bluegrass Sod Nursery Garden Center, and they have an absolute, what did it take, 5 or 6 weeks, did Kevin say?
He said, yeah, 5 weeks.
A team of 5 or something?
A team of 5.
To decorate all of the trees in here. It is absolutely spectacular. Right in front of us literally is a live ceiling of Boston ferns with chandeliers hanging from it. Stunning. And if we might just take the camera off of us and show you around a little bit in a bit. But anyway, welcome to Fun Shui Friday. And what's with the glasses?
Well, you know, we wear our funny glasses every week just so that we can bring awareness to seeing things energetically with our feng shui eyes.
You know it. And
So,
I'm shuffling,
yeah.
although we do have the intention today to talk about some of the seasonal plants, because we have Miss Floriculture here who knows a phenomenal amount about home plant, indoor plants, outdoor plants. I like the outdoor stuff. I know more about that than I do the indoor stuff, but we're going to give you some tips and tricks and advice on your seasonal plants.
Yeah, so good morning, and you know, share this out. Give us some hearts, tag a friend or something, right?
Come check these
And
two crazy
I know
women out.
last week we were with our special guest,
Yes.
Jeff Stegman and Clayton Stedman from Focus Life Force Energy. And so, yeah, if you missed that, go watch it because there's a free gift there for you.
Yes.
And it's a really important gift that helps to raise the vibration for humanity. And
In particular, yourself and your home.
yeah, and
But
so then
which-
again, you know, so we're
there's our
talking
card.
about gift giving, right? This is obviously the season for gift giving. And sometimes, you know, it's quite lovely to stop by your local garden center,
Mhm.
your local florist, and, you know, try and stay away from the grocery store chains if you can, because it's really important that you support your small
Yeah.
local business
Exactly.
because they're not going to be there if you don't. So
It's that simple.
yeah, stop by your local garden center, and it's great to give, like Cheryl said, a seasonal plant, you know, maybe to your housekeeper
Mhm.
or, you know, the guy, the little,
Delivers your water.
or just your girlfriend or
Next
whatever.
door.
But not everybody has a green thumb.
Mhm.
And so you want to really, if you know the person that you're gifting the live plant to,
Right.
then, you know, you're going to gain some insight here today.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So as always, we take one of the cards from Tara Catherine Collins' Feng Shui Personal Paradise card deck as our topic of the day.
I bet you it says plant. No.
No, it doesn't. It's actually interesting. It's children's bedrooms, but that's perfect because of where we're located right now and what we were talking about a little bit earlier, that there is a lot going on in here, right? So often in the children's bedrooms, we put too much stuff. And it's like asking them to go to sleep if they're in the middle of Toys R Us.
Yeah, and exactly. And same with like this environment.
Yes.
Like I didn't know where to look this morning when I walked in. It's just like, you know, I'm getting
Everything's calling you.
information overload.
Right.
And then it's like, oh my God, oh, look over here. Oh, no, look, it's just like everywhere. And
Yeah.
so then that heightens my nervous system. And then it's like, just like you say,
Mhm.
with children, it's like you're bouncing off the walls.
Pretty
And-
much.
And again, you know what? And of course, children, right?
Yep.
They're going to get some new toys for Christmas
They are so.
from Grammy and Grampy, probably. So,
And the
So,
aunts and the uncles and,
you might want to clean out their
Their-
toys,
Yeah.
right? Discard the broken ones because we always talk about
You betcha.
disrepair.
Yep.
And that holds true for children's
Toys.
belongings as well.
100%.
So get rid of the disrepair and, get rid of some of those other ones, making room for the new ones so that they're not like being bombarded,
Yes.
overloaded.
And even though Christmas, they might want to take everything. Oh,
Uh-huh.
my nose just fell. There. They might want to take all their new toys into their bedroom, or you might want to put them in the bedroom just to get them out of the way. We get that. But before they go to sleep, if you can create a ritual or a practice of you and the children putting all of those toys to bed themselves. Because if you've ever watched the movie Toy Story, and if you've got little people, odds are really good too. And actually, even the Walmart commercials now with the teddy bear, the store gets closed and all the toys come to life. In essence, that's exactly what's going on in your child's bedroom. All of those toys come to life and go, oh, we should play. Let's go to the moon today.
Well, and you know what? I was just thinking there are a lot of people our age that set up their Christmas toys, right? They have like what do they
Snow
call that?
globes
And the little
train sets and the
houses
villages.
and all that. And so, some people go to great extreme to set up their little house village thing. And again, that might be too much information overload. And so if you're feeling, right, I guess the best way to tell is like we always
What are
say,
the results?
what are the results? So if the small children, whether they're your grandchildren or your children or nieces and nephews, if they're bouncing off the wall, then start looking energetically and see what's going on in their environment.
Exactly.
Similarly, if your girlfriend is bouncing off the wall, you might want to
see if she's got eggnog in her coffee
first. Yeah, check that. And then see, maybe give her some feng shui tips on not having so much stimulation around.
Exactly. All right. So
okay.
let's get into talking about some of the plants that we have around us. Which one would you like to start?
Well, we got to do that.
We got to do.
Yeah, of course.
The normal
seasonal plant.
Probably most famous.
Yeah.
Poinsettia.
Okay.
Poinsettia.
See, that's my pet peeve.
Yeah.
So she just said it.
I said it two ways. I said poinsettia.
Poinsettia. Okay. So the actual word spelling is
There's no T.
Poinsettia. Poinsettia. So you might want to, bet somebody if they could spell it or something, some little Christmas game. So it's actually a poinsettia, and they are, believe it or not, they're a tropical plant.
They're a shrub. Yeah, in some cultures.
Yeah. No, they are. They're
huge.
Tropical.
They get huge.
So there's a clue, right? There's a clue. If you take something from the tropics and you bring it to our cold North American climate,
dry, cold.
Right. So then how do you keep it to last longer? Well, it doesn't like the cold. So when you're buying,
first tip that drives me crazy.
Yes. When you're buying it from your store, and again, if you're buying it from the garden center, chances are they know this.
Yes.
But if you're buying it from the superstore, they don't know it. So these guys do not like to get cold. They need to be wrapped up. I remember one winter at the flower shop, Cheryl, and we did a fundraiser for the school or something like that. In the sale, they had to sell so many poinsettias and yada, yada. Anyways, we ended up having like 200 of these things that needed to get either picked up or delivered on a specific day. because of this fundraiser.
Right, right.
And it ended up being like minus 30 something that day.
Yeah.
Holy Hannah. It took us hours and hours. So we would wrap the thing up first in plastic.
Mhm.
Then we put newspaper on it. Then we put it inside a paper
Paper
sleeve,
sleeve.
and then we put it in a plastic bag. Because that's how sensitive they are to cold. And you think that, just going from here to your vehicle, you're fine just to grab it and off you go.
No,
Because then what's going to happen is you're going to get home and the leaves are going to start to fall off.
100%.
And then you're going to go, well, what's happening? And, a lot of people too, Cheryl, don't know that you can keep, these are
A living plant.
a living plant. And even though we only see them seasonally at Christmas time, you can actually keep your poinsettia for the whole year.
Yeah, year round.
'Cause
I know many people that manage.
Yeah, and so what we're seeing, if you give them a little shot this way. There we go, like that. Okay. So what we're seeing
Okay.
here, right? So most people would say, oh, that's a bloom, that's its flower. But in essence, it's actually what we call a modified leaf or a bract. And the flower is actually
Where you get all the pollen.
right in here.
Exactly.
That's the flower. This is a modified leaf or bract with a color. And what's really interesting too with the poinsettia is that in order for it to change color, they require a very strict amount of daylight and darkness for a certain period of time.
Mhm.
And so when, my mom has had a poinsettia and, in the summertime, it's just all green, right? There's
Yep.
no color on it at all. And, she'll say, how do I get it to change color? Well, you have to be, like I say, it's very strict.
Yeah.
You have to start around, I believe it's around
September.
middle of September, and for about an 8-week period, it only can have 8 hours of sunlight a day. Very strict. So it's like you take it, you put it in the closet, and then you bring it out every morning at 8 o'clock, and then at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you put it back, right? So not everybody has
really-
that kind of schedule. And if you mess up,
It
up,
affects the plant.
then it starts all over again,
Yeah.
right? So then you're going to have the poinsettia blooming in, Valentine. But,
Which is all
what else do you want to say? about it?
some moisture,
Watering, yeah.
watering. I want to go back to the transportation. So something else that we typically do, at least I can speak for us, and I think I can speak for most families, is you've gone out, you got groceries, you bought your poinsettia, it sits in your vehicle. Now, if it's in a paper bag in your vehicle and the temperature drops, that same dam is no different than walking outside and not having it covered. So honestly, last thing you pick up at the greenhouse, you go straight home. Your vehicle is warm when you put it in there and you get it in the house.
100%.
Okay, then they'll last longer.
And then, as far as watering, you're better off to let it dry out. Okay, dry out completely. And then quite often, they do come in these little sleeves, decorative foil
water
pot.
on the.
And
Careful.
so then you just pop it out here, put it in your sink, water at the bottom evenly around, and let it seep through, right? We call it leaching. Let it drip dry, put it back in a dry container, and then let it sit there. And you know what? Do not water it again until it dries out. Because remember where it comes from. It comes from that hot tropical climate.
Exactly. Okay. And what kind of exposure in the house is the best?
Well, seasonally, you can put it anywhere, obviously, because most people, I would say 85% of the time, people are going to use their poinsettia as a centerpiece on the table, the coffee table, something like that. So, you know what, they're going to have filtered light and they'll be fine. Okay.
All right.
Mhm.
So another seasonal that you see this time of year is this fun, and they're like Oh, isn't that cool? This is a cyclamen.
Also, some people will call them a cyclamen, right? So just think of the man cycling,
Oh,
to
that's a
remember,
good one.
right? Word association.
Yeah.
So cyclamen, and we'll see them all other times of the year as well.
Mhm.
However, we do see them at Christmas time, sometimes in a collection,
Collection of
plants.
Christmas bulbs. Yeah.
right? That somebody might
Listen,
give you, because you know what, that's the thing. Somebody might give you
One.
one of these
Mhm.
and you go, I don't know
What to do with it?
Right. Um,
Hopefully they've got a tag. I see this one does not have a tag inside, but there's
Yep.
so much information on Google, of course, to tell you how to care for plants. So the tag is not always that necessary.
Right. So the only thing I
Mm.
would caution with this one, again, let it dry out. This one's
Mhm.
actually quite
Quite
dry.
dry.
And how you can tell, well,
The weight of the pot.
it's pretty light. If it was wet, it'd be heavier,
Yeah.
right? So if you look and see at the back here, most of the leaves and the flowers, this one is actually, it's not a bulb, it's a tuber, actually. And so all of the leaves and the flowers are
Oh.
coming from one central spot. So if you were to water because a lot of people just go, oh,
Dump it in the
water,
middle.
dump it in the middle, and it's quite a fleshy plant. And so what happens is it gets what's called crown rot, and it rots right here in the middle in the crown. And then you start pulling out these leaves, and they're all gushy and slimy on the end.
Mhm.
So let it dry out, and then this one you could actually take a saucer, put a cup of water, and let it drink
Soak it up.
from the bottom up. That way you're going to avoid having that root crown rot. And you know what? Each one of these little flowers will bloom
Oh, they last
4 to 6 weeks. So it could last you through to Valentine's
easily.
if you took care of it.
Cared for properly.
Yeah. Anything
Excellent.
else? Anything else on that one?
Well, again, once it's done flowering, you'll see it die back because it is a tuber, like
Yeah.
Anita had mentioned. So then what do they do with it?
So then, you know what, just let it rest. Because it took all its energy to do
To do
that.
all of this work.
And so just, put it, if you have a storage room, like a cold room, something like that, you could put it in there, let it rest for 4 to 6 weeks, then bring it out, gradually start watering it again, and it'll bloom again. Right?
Perfect.
Grow some
Perfect.
new leaves.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. One of my favorites. That one.
Yeah.
This I have in my house. I love the Christmas cactus. This one's actually got a lot of flower buds on it. And it's gorgeous. Of course, it's coming from a greenhouse that knows how to grow them. Imagine that.
Imagine that.
So I adore these plants. They're the easiest thing to me to handle. They're so forgiving. Yeah.
And so remember, cactus, right?
Mhm.
Succulent. So
Doesn't like
less
water.
water, like let them dry right out. The only thing that you might encounter if you're buying one for a gift for someone is that what happens with the Christmas cactus or the Thanksgiving, there's a Thanksgiving cactus and Easter cactus, and you might have one of those in your home, who knows. What happens when you buy it over here at the garden center, and this little plant, let's call it Mable. So Mable,
I like that.
I don't know, Mabel's been sitting,
Elfie. We gotta call it Elfie.
I know Mable. I like Mable. Sure. Mabel's been sitting over here, she's been getting cared for, and she's been sitting in the same
She's
spot.
got a lot of life.
She's got nice humidity and all that. Now, somebody bought Mable and she's taking it to Cheryl's house. And now Cheryl takes Mable and puts her on the living room table. And it happens that maybe your living room table faces south. And Mable was sitting here all this time in the garden center, facing north, getting north
Filtered
sun.
light. Yep.
So now what happens, you take it home and the flowers are very, very sensitive to the direction of the light. And quite often when you buy Mable from the garden center or the superstore or wherever, the flowers are going to drop off them. And that's the reason why. And then people go, oh my God, you got a tablecloth full of little
Unopened buds.
unopened buds. And the reason why, it's not because of the water, it's not because of the cold, it's because you changed her direction. Mabel is old fashioned and she likes things a certain way. So don't change up her direction. And then if you do have a Mabel in your own house, and I've had this many clients years ago, I can't get my Christmas cactus to
Flower.
What do you do?
What do? Well, they typically will flower this time of year, if you're talking about the Christmas ones, right? Now think about their tropical location. So our climate, it's cooler, starting September. So for me to get mine to flower, it gets moved to a brighter spot
For sunlight.
and a cooler spot. So it winds up being closer to a window, and you can actually feel the temperature difference from that window.
Because they like a
They like
cold
cold.
shock. These and orchids actually to get them to kind of
Oh, I need to reproduce.
again, it's like Mabel,
Right.
sometimes you gotta, give her a little boost. Give her a cold shock and she got, she perks right
Well,
up.
naturally, all plants want to reproduce, and the
Yeah.
cold sends the message to them that, we need to do something here to preserve our lineage.
Right, because this could be it.
This
right?
could be it.
This
So
could be the ice age.
exactly.
I gotta do
I gotta
something.
reproduce. It's
Although, yeah.
actually,
Hopefully Mabel isn't out there reproducing. But anyway.
well, this is their way to reproduce, right?
Mhm.
They send out a flower, gets pollinated, yada, yada, yada. That's the whole story with plants.
Okay.
But also they love to be root bound.
Oh, yeah.
They love to be root bound. So that's one of the reasons I like them so much, is because you can have the same plant in the same pot
Mhm.
for 10 years.
And
And you'll find that the longer it's in that pot, the more it flowers.
And you know what? There's probably a lot of grandmas out there that
That
have
have
had the same one for
beautiful-
years
Yep.
in their living room window that covers the whole table, and the thing is like a legacy
It's mass,
plant.
yeah, 100%, like a jade, just beautiful, beautiful.
Those
Okay.
old fashioned.
Yeah, you got it. All right,
Maple.
now you
Okay.
pick the next
See you,
one.
Maple.
Table's gone down.
Okay, so this one is kind of fun.
I like this one. You
And
want both stages?
I'm not gonna use profanity, almost. Almost I am, but not quite. So this one we see this time of year too. It's called the Amaryllis. Amarillo by morning, kind of like that. And this one's called Blitzen. Look at that.
That's fun.
Yeah.
This
Hypes,
one's such a way.
Hypeastrum is
All that
the
glitters.
botanical name. So these are really, really fun. And again, seasonal bloomers. We
Yes.
love them because of the pop of color. But when I used to sell them at the flower shop, we used to joke and call it the penis plant
Of course,
because
it just resembles. Yeah, it reminds us girls of other things that grow.
and so it too will bloom and it gets all these
Proper
beautiful
care, yeah,
proper care.
and those flowers last.
Yeah, they last a long time, and typically you'll get 4 to 6 blooms off the one stem. And then there's, as you see, the leaf kind of comes out after, so it's quite interesting that you get this long stalk and you get the bloom, and then the
And
leaf,
then the leaf.
then the leaf will start to come out after.
So why is it that they send them out, and often you see them in containers, or you can
Yep.
just buy the bulb? Let's talk
Mhm.
about that for a sec, because this one, it actually potted, is different.
Yeah, so you can actually, and I've done this before, where you can actually create like a little grid, a
Mhm.
couple of bamboo sticks over a beautiful glass vase or something. And then if you just put like just about a third, just so that the roots are kind of dangling in the water. It's kind of a fun looking thing, and you can put some decorative rock, things
Right.
like that. And because they are seasonal bloomers,
Right.
right?
And what does that do? That encourages the roots which signals the bulb to going to grow.
Yeah, so when you say like if you buy them this way, you
Yes.
so then to take it home, you could, put it in that decorative pot without
Right.
having to put it into the soil.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
This says, ready to bloom, no watering needed, set in a warm, bright area. Turn bulb for a straight stem, compost when finished.
Yeah, I would have. So what I used to do when my amaryllis were done blooming, cut off the stem, let the greenery, the
The
leaves,
foliage.
just let them do their thing.
What they're doing is taking the energy, all the sugars, and storing it.
Exactly. Because then they're replenishing the bulb. Okay. So let those leaves do their thing. When they're done, their photosynthesis, they will actually turn yellow and kind of, get droopy looking.
Yeah.
Then you can cut the leaves off, because as you see, the previous one has been cut off. And cut them off, and then again, stick them in the cold storage room.
They're having a rest.
In the garage. Just let them shake the dirt off of them. Just let that bulb just go to sleep somewhere. And I actually used to take my amaryllis bulbs in the spring, in May, and plant them in my garden.
Nice.
And what they would do, they wouldn't bloom, but what they would
This
do,
foliage
the
is gorgeous.
leaves would just grow.
Yeah.
And then
Great filler.
Then in September, I would dig them up, cut the leaves off. And quite often, the amaryllis would be twice the size, the bulb, or sometimes I'd even get a base,
Oh, nice.
right? Then I would take them in, put them in the cold storage, and then in November, pop them up. And so I could use that bulb
Year round.
Yeah.
Cool. Love it.
Okay. Look at us go, 9:57.
9:57. Do we have time for a couple more?
Sure.
Okay. Holly. The shrub, the prickly little shrub. You can't
Mhm.
really see much. I'm going to take it out of the decorative pot here.
Now, this one, I would say, Cheryl, is really,
Yes.
it's not a house plant.
No.
No. And we have some of our listeners, viewers, I know that live in
Well,
British Columbia.
Exactly. Or another, but for Alberta, it's not.
So they live on the west coast of Canada,
Mm-mm.
where there's more rain. It's a lot more humid. These grow outside naturally
Yes.
as a shrub. Okay. So yeah, it's not something if you live in any other part that you want to keep in your house
Mhm.
as a plant, like as an evergreen, long lasting plant. Strictly seasonal, fun.
Yeah.
This one, they decorated it up. You
Decorated
could
it
put
up a
some
little
little
bit.
bells
Yeah,
on it or
for sure.
something. Personally, because they're prickly.
Not great when there's kids around.
Right. Maybe as a little, you're putting them with some of these other ones as a collection.
Yeah, that would be
Just
pretty.
to have that texture,
Yeah.
variegated.
You betcha.
Then yes.
And for those gardeners that like to experiment, and I'm one of them, right? So if this was in my house, I would take it outside in the spring and plant it in my garden and let's see what it does. And if it lives, it lives. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So don't get attached to keeping it year round.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd say the same goes true for this little guy. This is a
Mhm.
little cypress. And again, this is not a house plant per se.
Mhm.
This is a seasonal, decorative, fun thing that you can do with the kids. You can wrap it up and they make the little
Grinch trees.
out of them, right?
I actually even noticed they have some Grinch tree kits here.
Yeah. And so, that might be something fun to do with the grandkids or whatever. Again, different color foliage, different texture. So in a collection, a basket of those Christmas seasonal plants as a gift would be
Beautiful.
lovely.
Beautiful.
But don't expect this one to be alive next, February. Because, it's got very, very tiny little leaves. It's going to dry out very quickly. it's used to having that rainforest humidity type atmosphere. So
Exactly.
it doesn't like our dry homes,
Homes.
etc.
Yeah.
So very, yeah.
But
So there,
so there's some information on some of the seasonal plants. Now we are out at Bluegrass here in
Oh, yes.
Red Deer.
Mhm.
So they have on a promotion right now that is the 12 days of Christmas. So every day there's something else going on here in the greenhouse. And today is the white, I have to read this to get it correctly.
Yeah.
The white winter wonderland.
Right.
So anything in the store that is 90% white in color is 30% off.
Wow.
So I'm sure they've posted that on their page, on their
Yep.
Facebook page.
Mhm.
I also know they have a little, kind of like a little mystery contest going on to try and find Elfie in the store. So I'm gonna go looking for Elfie after we're done.
Okay,
But-
well, good luck with that, because there's
There's a
so
lot.
much to
Elfie
look
could
at.
be hidden anywhere
Oh
in
my
the store.
gosh.
So I just think that's kind of fun.
It's probably
to
upside
scamper
down
around.
somewhere trying to go,
Get me out of here, get me
Yeah.
out of here, get me.
too much going on. And
So-
so, yeah, every day they have something going on,
Yes,
From
right
now-
until the 23rd.
23rd
Yeah.
and 24th. Look at that, they're open on the 24th.
Oh, there you go, 23rd and the
So,
24th.
yeah, and they do have some beautiful
Oh.
poinsettias right now, or you buy one, you get the second one for free. I noticed that when I
Oh,
pulled
nice,
that,
nice.
at least on that shelf anyways.
Mhm.
It may not be the whole place.
Great.
So
Perfect.
yeah, if you're looking for that gift, living plants are a wonderful gift
Oh, when
to
we
give
talk about chi.
and receive,
Mhm.
because, it gives us that feeling of being outdoors, and it is good energy.
As long as they're healthy and cared for. That's the key to all of that.
That's why we just did that.
Exactly. Gotta care
you
for
know.
them all. Now you know. You're in the know.
In the know.
Big thank you to Bluegrass, Bruce and Doreen, the McEwens, Kevin and Roxanne and Jen that helped us get
Yep.
everything set up here this morning so we could be live from their Christmas center, which is just fantastic. We didn't get a chance to talk about some of the live boughs. They do have live greenery branches here. They have live Christmas trees here. And should we end with just a little scan?
I think you should just take
Okay,
that.
I'm gonna
and
take the
just
camera.
give them this, like,
Wow. So when I first walked in here, this is what I saw,
yeah.
which is just breathtaking. It's alive. So I call it a living ceiling with the Boston ferns and the chandeliers, and then the centerpiece table. So if we go that way, you're seeing only some of the
Yeah,
trees
I
that
think
are in
there's
here.
Gotta be 50 trees.
Oh,
or more
easily and
decorated.
fully decorated. So it's a nice place to come hang out. Again, you're going to be stimulated from all the colors and textures. And then straight through those doors, you can kind of see the poinsettias.
There's more Christmas trees,
There's
more gift.
oh,
There's
all
more,
kinds,
more,
all
more.
kinds, all kinds. And
Lots of
this
good.
is their business, right? This is a local family that runs a place and has a great team and a great staff. So final closing words, my Elfie
You know what?
friend.
I just want to tell everybody Merry Christmas. Thank you
Yeah.
for supporting us. I believe this is our 93rd episode. Wow. If you've missed any, you're just joining us for the first time.
Mhm. Thank you.
You can go
if
to
you are.
youtube.com/@ the little ampersand at All in Alignment, and you'll see all of our other episodes.
Perfect.
And I want to thank this gal right here, because we've had a great year,
We have
and
had.
we're looking forward to the new year
Yeah.
with our new branding and all of that good stuff. So yeah, have a blessed season, everyone. Thanks
Yeah.
for tuning in, joining us, sharing
Again,
yourself.
yet again. Yeah. Love to hear your comments. If there's something you'd like us to talk about, put that in the comments. Whether you're watching this live on Facebook, #replay if you're watching the replay, or if they're watching it on our YouTube channel. Yeah. Cool. Well,
Awesome.
from Rudolph, let me get my nose back up there.
And
And Elfie, thanks for tuning in.